little readings at half-price books, which was not a tenth of the awesomeness that we have here at Malvern. I mean, I love half-price, like I still shop there, but they don't have this great space or this sort of communal feel that we've built up here. So I was thinking it would just be like Austin people, but Joe shows up and reads his piece, and everybody's jaw is on the floor by the time he's done. It was so well written and so well presented, and we were just like, we gotta keep in touch with this guy. And so I'm so glad that we have, and that he's continued to be involved in the contest, he's continued to be an advocate, and he's continued to write, including his debut novel, La Roja, which you have the amazing cover art for. If you can get a copy, I'm sure Joe has some extras. So without further ado, Joseph Huerta.
Thank you. How are you doing tonight?
Great.
You may have noticed my voice can be hard to understand, but because of an accident I had back in 1998. I fell off a mountain for skiing. I was unable to control myself, so I fell 20 feet, hit my head on the tree, let me into a coma. I was there for 12 days. I came out, I couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. So I had to learn how to talk again. So there's ever a point where you don't understand what I say, you say, huh? And I repeat myself. I started off going to school here at UT. I was in the Plan 2 honors program. I graduated in 1989. After that, I went to law school here. I became a lawyer. I did personal injury. I had no other guy who took the head, crazy kind, what the hell is that? So anyway, that's a little bit of my history, my story. My first book was a autobiography about my life before my accident and what it's like after that. I was writing like in the form of a diary. Just everything that occurred to me, I go write it down. And eventually, I got hooked up with a good editor, Kirk Walsh, who helped me rewrite it and turn it into something definitive, something good. It's called Broken Brain. I thought of the title on my own. I said, I need something real, personal, something real about me. I had covered it in black, a skull in red, white. I said, yeah. This is, yeah. And back then I thought I need to sell my book, get it moving, and then I'll become an author. This didn't happen. You know, but I learned about how you write, I learned about how you read, I learned about the possibility of becoming an author. And so eventually I thought, you know, I can come up with a good story. And eventually I heard of Santa Muerte in a movie. And what the hell is Santa Muerte? She is a being in my latest book, La Roja, Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte is a being out of Mexico. It's what's called a folk saint. Okay? It didn't come from the Vatican. It's not Catholic or Protestant or anything. It's something that people made up. They made up this folk saint down in Mexico. I learned about it online. Going to Google, I discovered a lot around the border in Corpus Christi, in Houston, New York, Chicago, LA, everywhere. It's out there. And so I got to get to know Santa Muerte, got to do research into her. There are many books that are out there. There's a lot of knowledge about her that I had never heard of. It's something real, something definitive, something that occurs down in Mexico. And that is a being in my story, La Roja. I am going to read you the prologue of the book with gives you an idea what is going on. They're going to skip one chapter and go to the meeting of my hero and the Roja. The Roja is a red-headed girl. Someone comes up with the name of calling her the Roja, which isn't a real Spanish name for redhead. It's Lady Roja, but they went with it, the Roja. So this is a product of that book. In South Texas, there's a little country called the Valley. Well, it's not really a country, or it has its own culture and people and language, Tejano, but it isn't quite like the Vatican in Rome, Italy. Formerly, it was called the Rio Grande Valley, or the Lower Rio Grande Valley. And formerly, it's called the Valley. It is an area located in the southernmost tip of South Texas, lying along the northern bank of the Rio Grande, which separates Mexico from the U.S. What is the valley made of? Are there mountains, or hills, or mesas, buttes, hummocks, ridges, maybe sierras? There's actually nothing there. Go tell your theology teacher. There are no mountains or hills or anything that makes the valley a valley. It was an advertising scheme having its roots in the early 20th century. Asserting the capital letters, what is a valley? As the other east will tell you, the area is a floodplain. It fills up with floodwaters when the river gets flooded. There are no mountains or steppes or even hills. You have cotton and citrus and palm trees stretching across the flat terrain. This is what the big boys meant when they called it the Magic Valley, trying to get settlers to move into the area. They called it El Valle de Mexico. The valley stretches along the border between the U.S. and Mexico. It stretches from the Gulf of Mexico on its most eastern edge and goes west to American cities of Brownsville, Wesco, Edinburgh, and McAllen. On the other side of the Rio Grande, you have Mexican cities like Matamoros and Reynosa. We call the river the Rio Grande River, but that term is redundant in Mexico. It's like saying the river, big river. They call it the Rio Bravo, or the Rio Bravo del Norte, which means River Furious, or River Furious of the North. The priest has a new task before him, a task given to him by the bishop. He will meet an altar server at a restaurant chosen by the server, Pepe's. What is Pepe's? It is a Mexican restaurant which is about 10 tacos, only $12.99. Beef, chicken, and pork, carry out only. And Pepe's is open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Pepe's, the priest says, walking up to the door of the restaurant. Why is the priest here? He is here as an investigator for the bishop, who is designed to solve his quest for knowledge, in particular with regard to certain altar servers in this diocese. Now, no one should think every altar server will be investigated. Most altar servers simply go to high school and belong to Boy Scouts and just play football. You may have a car that got decorated with shoe polish on the windows, or maybe the houses were decorated by toilet paper. Except for this particular altar server, Esteban. Sometimes witnesses to religious cults and murders might be teenagers, particularly with regard to the existence of a folk saint from Mexico, Santa Muerte. Sometimes the witnesses are not all deacons or monks or primates. Sometimes they are altar servers. Hello, Father, a teenage boy says. He's a wisp of a boy. dressed in a white t-shirt covered by an army jacket. His jeans dribbled down from his waistband. He was his nose. Are you Esteban? Hi, Esteban. The priest says, it is good to see you. I am Father Ridley. Father, I am Esteban's dad, Mr. Salazar. How are you? Now, Dad looks a bit like a Mexican TV show Don Francisco or Salvador Gigante. But today he needs a shave and his current sports coat needs pressing. I am good, Mr. Salazar. He laughs. I wasn't sure he'll be able to find this place. I took a bus and stopped a few blocks away. Then I got lost, but a woman helped me find this place. Que bueno, the father asked. Seguro. I thought you were Father Guillermo, Mr. Salazar said. I am, but Father Willie is better for kids. I guess you want to eat here with Esteban. I'll be in the hardware store next door. He handed the priest a card and put my number on the back. Call me if there's any problems. Can I get to this room? This one says. I'll be back, what, in an hour? Asked Mr. Esteban. Mr. Salazar. Sure, says Father Willie. Excuse me, Father, I got to go pee. Be my guest, Father Ridley says, as one skips off to men's room. Take care, Father Guillermo, the father says, turning to the door. See you in an hour. Father Ridley looks at the booth nearby and sits there. The servers are scuttling around a different section of the restaurant. She places his briefcase onto the table and opens it. There's a folder inside devoted to Esteban and to his story. Father Ridley opens it up, turning past photos, toast workers, and his own typewritten notes. Father Ridley pours out a letter that Esteban provided by the clergy. Well, it wasn't written to the clergy, it was written to Esteban's English class in high school. And even then, it really wasn't a paper turned into a teacher. It was folded up like a note that might have been in a backpack, but it's left in a copy of Fahrenheit 451. The English teacher read the note and decided to send it to the church. Everyone has no idea that the letter has assumed its power when it is floating around out there. Sometimes truth can be revealed in school with the notes. Even for high school students who have no clue that they are being read, notes have a short half-life. From the note. Dear Opal, I desperately hope that this note makes it to you. Sometimes things are just too important to type on the net. This is a note about love. I'm talking about Buckle and Nancy. I have heard you talk about Buckle, but you do not know Nancy. There are girls out there that make you feel electric. You feel this flow to your body and you can do anything. Anything. Well, I don't really know this, but I did read it in GQ magazine. It counts right. I'm not a teenage lover boy, so I have to rely on what I heard from other people. That goes for a lot of the story. Bucko and I have gone together to school since first grade. I also know him from the church where we spend a lot of time. Bucko has a friend named Hyman. I guess you could say they have been best friends. They have spent a lot of time in Bucko's Mustang driving around the valley. A girl came into Bucko's life and she turned it upside down. Her name was Nancy. She has red hair, which is not common in the valley. Hyman came up with the nickname La Roja for Nancy, but it really isn't the proper Spanish word for redhead. I liked it, La Roja. So anyhow, then she showed up hunting Paco. The priest sees Esteban coming towards the booth, so he slides the paper under one of his books. He says, "Are you hungry? I am always hungry. Let's eat." Esteban laughs. "I want food." "Oh, Father Willie?" "Yes." "I'm sorry, but I can't have to urinate. I deal mainly with Father Terry, and I don't know how to act around the higher ups." "No problem. What is good here?" You're going to laugh at me." "I won't laugh," Father Willie says. "Not really." And they smile. "Okay, don't laugh. I'd like to order Fruit Loops." "Like cereal?" Esteban nods. Father Willie laughs and says, "I think I'll have the breakfast quesadilla." That wasn't a smile, Esteban says with a sad, pre-kid look on his face. "Oh, sorry," says Father Willie, and says, "I think I'll have the breakfast quesadilla." He gets serious. Cereal. I always like cornflakes. "Cornflakes? Yuck! Fruit Loops is the king," Esteban says. He shows the salt and pepper and the coffee sweetener to the side. "Where are you from?" "Los Angeles," Father Willie responds. "So what brings you here?" Father Willie makes a face, raising his eyebrows up high. "That is a good question. I got out of divinity school and I was assigned to visit various parts of the country. I have worked with different locations under emergency response teams. I just reached here and I got hired. The local bishop had a case he wanted me to look at. So I woke up in LA 3 days ago." "Raquel!" Esteban cries. A servant in pink approaches the booth. "Esteban!" The girl is perhaps 19, with a wire of bleached blonde curls reaching halfway to her waist. She throws her hands onto her waist and looks at Esteban like a suit. "You are Esteban, El Rey de los Fruit Loops." She looks at Esteban like a cowboy's cheerleader. "Is he El Rey de Fruit Loops?" Father Willie smiles and holds out a hand to Raquel. "I am Father Willie." Raquel shakes his hand, looking at Esteban. "Fruit Loops? Eso!" "And you, Father?" "Breakfast quesadilla." Raquel nods. "To drink?" "Coffee." Esteban holds out his fist around hers. It says, "See ya," like a duo on the radio. "So you are the king of Fruit Loops here," Father Willie says. Esteban looks at him like a science project. "What are we going to talk about?" Father Willie is a bit surprised. "Well, I am in the service of the local bishop." Esteban smiles. "You want to talk about Nancy and Paco?" "How did you know?" Esteban shrugs. "This is a story about love in the shadow of the church," Esteban says. "He was supposed to go into the seminary, but then there were stories about her beliefs." Father Willie looks at Esteban. "Tell me about Nancy and Paco." Esteban looks up in the air, kissing angels, giving him his lines. The two of them were like a novella in high school in McAllen. They went out. They had this relationship. They loved each other. Esteban pauses. He opens his mouth and pauses again. Then Nancy was killed. Paco left. A random thought occurs for the really. It's the one that looks like a stigmatic image of Christ, which are called stigmata. Father really shakes his head to make that thought go away. He's never seen a stigmatic. No any divine marks of the Lord. There's no sense in introducing that into the case. Did you know Nancy and Buckle? Yeah, I knew Buckle a little bit more. What were they like? They were in love, as one says, but then religion raised its head. Was it religion? Maybe it was. Maybe it was the devil. What do you mean? It's one works. There are people who believe weird things. They say it is religion, but sometimes they let the devil get into our lives. Roja really looks at the one with renewed interest. And so it's not supposed to be a philosopher or a priest or a deacon. What is going on here? No wonder the bishop wrestled him into investigating this event. I tell you that you saw this as an altar server. It's the one? Yes. But there were things going on that were different. Tell me about Boko and Nancy. Wasn't really us. Okay, this one says, you're not the first one to ask me about this. It happened a month back. Who asked you that? It's like a big secret that no one would tell the news. I don't know who made it that way. I talked to priests, cops, parents. One day I talked to an exorcist. Yeah. They paused for a moment. Was the exorcist a priest? No. He was just a Christian guy who had his notes on his phone. He was hooked up to some server and some program that gave him ideas. I have no idea if he exercised anyone. So, is this all secret? I guess. I did hear a guy talking in Spanish about Nancy one night. Raised at 4 in the morning on the AM side. You're up at 4? Father really asked. As one looks down at his Fruit Loops, he is quiet. Sometimes thought Nancy dying is Raquel arrives with a cup of coffee and places it in front of Father Willie, who's still looking at it the one. Father Willie is quiet. He does not even grin. Tell me. That was the prologue of the book, La Roja. I worked it to give the reader an idea of the elements of the story. This is a religious work, or semi-religious, because on the outside was the Catholic Church, including a couple of altar servers, some priests, and some higher ups were in the book. So that was the initial chapter of the book. Now I'm going to skip a section with, in which Paco is relating to his friend Jaime, how he saw this redhead in a restaurant, how he tried to talk to her, but it didn't work out. But he has a note that says where the sequel is going to be. So I'm going to read you that chapter, which should be a bit shorter. This is a chapter of the meeting of Paco and Nancy. Paco holds a little flyer in his hand, a flyer from the Ghost Table. It is a simple flyer, black and white, photocopied with words pasted around the brand. Paco found it on the Ghost Table and saved it as a bit of evidence, a clue, in a way to identify who's there at the table. Granted, it's not a very good piece of evidence, but he stood him up out of bed to travel to his park, which is more about the quarry rather than the fire. Buckle sits on the swing, looking at the fire. The fire had been doctored a bit with a pen. The name of the bar had been underlined in blue ink. Buckle arrived at 11 to see if the redhead came to look in the sun and instruments. Perhaps she's her girlfriend. Damn it. The copy reads VIP bands above the image of the band. Who is the band? The next second illustration from a circular designed to appeal to musicians. Though sometimes the circular might get snatched up by a younger brother. There are a few stars coming out in the background, perhaps to exemplify the background of the band. It is a Tejano event, rock and roll, country. Buckle shouted in the seat. Suddenly he feels a gentle push. He turns around to see who is pushing him. It is La Roja. Oh, hi. Hello. La Roja is calm and relaxed and has a little smile. She wears a black shirt over a pair of shorts and she walks slowly around Buckle, who jumps up startled. Buckle stammers. Hello. I'm not used to this. Hello. I like to know who a person is when I meet them. I'm Nancy. Hi Nancy, I am Buckle. Buckle holds his hand out, a macho thing to do when you meet someone new, to offer a handshake. And it is good when you meet an employer or a teacher or someone's dad. But it doesn't quite work this morning. The girl keeps her hands in her pockets. Well, she missed the manly course on handshaking. Maybe she doesn't care. Buckle puts his hand back. Hello, she says. Are you part of this group? Buckle says. Your head walks around him slowly, looking at his face. She walks around like a coyote. How are you? Me? I'm good. A little nervous. Are you? I think you're terrified. Yes. Don't be scared around me. Oh, okay. Are you a student? Yes, I'm graduating this year, he says. And then what, Buckle? More education? Are you a student? She pauses in front of him like a predator, keeping her hands in her pockets. Yeah, I'm a senior too. We don't know each other, right? No, we have never met. I know nothing about you, but I thought you might be fun to meet. And yes, you are fun to meet. Come with me, Buckle. Let's go for a little walk. Buckle looks at the other members of the group. Nancy, don't you need to talk to people for the concert? Aren't you going to perform? She looks down at the members of the group. Then her eyebrows pop up. You saw us in this group? Buckle, I listened up for you. 3 hours to find me. This is you. And here you are. She smiles. You are making me very scared. She grabs his hand and leads him along a path. What is this way? Are you going to kill me? My aunt tells stories about curanderos here and brujas. Are you a curandero? Buckle voices himself like a joke, but he has heard stories. She laughed. I am not going to kill you, but I do need the money. I work at the store in the mall selling makeup. I'm off until 3. Oh, and you wear flowers in your hair? Yeah. She looked at Buckle. How much of a ransom would you be worth if I did kidnap you? 200, maybe 3. Buckle went his hand through his hair. I work for my uncle. He does welding. You're working today, Buckle? No. My uncle works when he wants to contractor, and he lets me off when he does all the work in the office. And you have today off, she said, looking out towards the horizon. It feels great to see the world. It does. I don't have to watch South Park today or The Simpsons. It's good to meet new friends. Am I your new friend, Nancy? Do you want to be my friend? Yes. She laughed. Then I pronounce us friends until death do we part. You don't get to kiss me, not yet. Then she smiles and runs her fingers through her hair. Are there any questions about the book or my lifestyle or how?
Is that based on your personal life?
I have no comment. Although I must say my first love ever in my life is here today. Mrs. McKinley, there's the back. She's a lawyer here in town, married, she has kids and everything. This is a blonde hair in the right town. And it's kind of busy. Yay! I can shut up. Took up my head off. Are there any other questions? Anyone? No.
So, are you from the valley, or?
I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay.
My dad was from Laredo. I spent a lot of time in Laredo. I've been down to the valley a number of times, both as a lawyer, prosecutor lawyer. We had cases that arose down there. So I am familiar with it.
So what inspired the story?
I heard the name Santa Marta in a movie. I think one of the black cops mentioned Santa Marta in terms of LA. And I remember thinking, what the hell is Santa Marta? So when I looked her up on the internet, and you'll discover that there are a lot of people out there who follow Santa Marta. They write stories about her. They write prayers. They write deals about English and Spanish. Now, there are levels that you go to, and the highest level, the person that does the bad stuff is not on the net. But you can read about that in the newspaper, on the internet, on the web. You can put in Santa Marta and see what you discover. It's amazing how much stuff is out there. And here I am from Corpus Christi. I had never heard of Santa Marta. Since I wrote this story, I've met guys who have an image tattooed on their body. There are trucks that come across the border with drugs. They have an image in the cab of the truck. There are all sorts of guys running around the state doing bad things, following Santa Marta. And one day I thought, why don't you come across the border in one part of the valley, and here's another guy in another part, and both are right in Raymondville, and both went to sell you drugs, and crashed into each other. Who wins? Who does Santa Marta favor? And that was an issue that I had no idea about. I had to go work on the book, work on issues of South Texans who encountered her. You know, December, and a woman from Mexico who crossed into Laredo. I thought they were a good couple to be there. Initially, I would tell you that after I wrote my first book, Broken Brain, my autobiography, I discovered a lot about how you write fiction. I thought I could put this book out there, I can become a famous author. I have read all kinds of other books that are out there, and I analyze the books themselves. I try to figure out how is it that this book is selling, what is it that's making guys want to write this book. And I initially thought, why did I write it by young people? I can't write an old girl. You write about high school kids. Yeah. And adults who want to read about high school kids. So boys or girls, only a couple. Yeah. Yeah, a couple. Yeah. So that had a play in how I came up with the story. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a message in your book for the high school kids that you're trying to convey?
That is an interesting question because, okay, y'all did hear something about Nancy dying in the book. There is a priest who's talking to various young people, both at the service and in Denver, and he is not a sentimental kind of a guy. He's a straight up Catholic guy. He talks to them about making the right choices, about not going away from the beaten path, stick with what is standard and what they're being handed, and just, it may not be famous or make a lot of money, anything like that, but it's a good way to stay alive. And so that is an element of what the book is about, to stay away from that nasty stuff, to do things the right way. As it happens in the course of the book, you will discover things about Santa Marta, about how worshippers or followers will go and convey their respect for her at these shrines. They don't go to church, they don't go talk to the Pope or Bishop, anything like that. These are individuals, followers, and about how they get the message across to each other into Santa Marta. So it's all in there. Think you're busy? Anyone else?
Do you have any advice for other authors that want to get started?
Yeah, I do. Get out there, write your stuff, and let people read it. Okay, if you're going to write a little diary, hide it on your bed. No one is going to ever read it because they're not putting it in front of them. Write something that they will want to read. So they say, whoa, this is bad. Yeah, check this out. And it's talk to other people. Now, granted, they may not pay you any money, but it's a good little footprint to make. But once you make a little footprint, then you go read up on other books you can admire, ones that you have things in it that you want to follow. For example, I read one book a week, and I hear the voice, I see the way that the plot is laid out. Okay, and I'm going to reveal my secret to you. When you have gone and become a lawyer, they teach you to say A, B, C, D, E. And that's it. That is a boring thing to read. A, B, C, E. You don't even want to finish a book. So what you do is you take it and you move the order. Okay? So it's no longer A, B, C, D, E. So A to W to B to X to E to O to zero. You know, why not? It's something that you will discover other authors do. They don't want to have one character, A, B, C, D, E. They want to go with a number of them. They have character 1, friend A, character 2, friend B. They skip around. And what you will discover is that different people have different views. Okay, like in this book, for example, Father really is an up high Catholic priest or whatever, but he's investigating the story. That's all. Okay, now you have an artisover who is not Paco, but he's a friend of Paco. He observes what occurred. So you have a little bit of a wording story about how to get the image out there. Because there's not only one way to write one story. You need to figure it out. You need to approach it and attack it and take it down. Okay? Now, one last element in this story here. Once you put it out there, don't expect everyone to want to go crazy and go get that book. It ain't going to happen. Okay? You need to man up, write your book and make guys want to read it. What you'll discover is that there'll be guys out there who are going to follow what you write. They're going to say, yeah, they're growing. You know, right here, you see the little punk little, no one who Corpus Christi, yeah. But they can become a real artist. You know, at some point, they may want to have in school districts, maybe in high school, maybe some teachers want to read to a second grade class, I don't know. But you need to make a jump out there, to put it out there, how guys read it, and go forward from there. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. You've written something that is autobiographical, and now you've written something that is fiction. Obviously, the first very personal, and then the second one, some inspiration from really something that just, I guess, set off a thought. So, what do you feel like you have some glimmer of what comes next? And do you prefer fiction over, in terms of writing, what appeals?
Okay, well, the first book was a book of fiction. I had to come up with something to write. It's my only way to attack the guys who are out there. You know, when you're the punk guy who can't walk or talk, lying in bed with bureaucracy on your face, you can't speak. You need to write. So that's what I did. I just wrote it. So once I put all it out, I wrote it all down. I have no other materials that I want everyone to know, ones that I want to make public. So when you work on fiction, a work of fiction, once I got the biography out of the way, I thought about coming up with something interesting. And once you cast an idea, you work it in your head and come up with elements or the story. And it's just like I said, when it's no longer A, B, C, D, E, it's something new and creative. And when you come up with something new and creative, you come up with something that people are going to want to read again. They're going to be interested in again. They're going to want to run with it. So I have a glimmer of knowledge regarding the Roja. I heard that name in a movie, Santa Marta. That's my inspiration now. Then I thought, okay, now what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? And I came up with the idea. This is how my little brain works. Sometimes it works in a good way, sometimes it works in a messed up way. Okay, I thought, I write a book about gypsies.
Gypsies.
And then I thought, I also write a book about vampires. And gypsy coaches here and vampires who are attacking them. Okay, and I must have brought about 50 books of being gypsy because of the language, the culture, the religion. I mean, I started to write about my book and I thought, this is crap. It doesn't matter how good the little glimmer is, it ain't there, it ain't there. Okay, so I see that aside, no more gypsy vampires, no. Okay. And see what you got to do. Okay, you have to man up. You can't be a wimp. You have to become a real authentic. That is crap. So then what I got to think about another element of something interesting, which is autism. Now autism, there's a lot of stuff out there about autism. A lot. And I was trying to get your feeling on it. Autism is what I discovered is they've been playing around with the title autism. Instead of one kind of autism, but now there are 5. Because the psychologists of the U.S. said, you know what, it's not just one disease, it's 5 disorders. There's autism, there's Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's is Rain Man. If you ever saw Rain Man, he had autism as Asperger's syndrome, which is 3 separate things are combined. And then there are a number of other ones that I don't remember, but they combined it all. So then what you discover is that there are a lot of guys out there who think they know about autism, but they have no clue. So you go and you look into it, you discover elements that may interest you, and you go for it in moment. And in addition to having an autism book, I decided to do a book regarding martial arts. Because when I was here in Austin, I got a background at school at Corpus Christi, so it took me 5 years. Okay, so I got really in touch with the idea of autism. So I thought, why not have an artistic girl? Well, they say it's autism. We need to discover what is really going on in her head. She doesn't talk. Then I have a martial artist who takes her under his wing because she dropped out of ballet class. She was kicked out, so now she wants to learn martial arts. Yeah, there's something there. I hope. I hope. I have about 50 pages written right now. I need to work with it some more. And what you do is you go from person to person. Now, in this book, this girl who can't talk. Okay, so I can't have her say anything or feel anything, anything like that. She has what's called, and I can't tell you now. She won't talk. Okay.
If there's something coming.
And there's something coming. And so I can't write from her point of view, but I have this martial artist who needs to discover what autism is. So he goes and talks to a therapist, goes and talks to a grandma, goes and talks to a doctor. We're going to look up on the internet, and then when you go there, you discover all the stuff that keeps you up, stuff that interests you. You can get to go deep down and find something written that is meaningful, so that someone will read it and say, wow, I had no idea autism was like that. And then you run with it. So that's what I'm trying to do there, trying to take off with it. And it will not end up with my vampire. How are we doing on time? I see how 15 minutes left?
Yeah, I think we have, y'all close at
At 9.
9?
We do close at 9.
Okay.
Okay, so.
The conversation can certainly continue at the bookstore.